Welcome to the Nerd Party.
It's not working.
Well, how long since you've cleaned the heads?
The what?
The heads. Do you have any alcohol?
To drink?
What? No, to clean it. Check the tracking.
The rental place closes in 2 hours.
Shut up, it's working.
Time for a retro perspective.
Hello and welcome to Retro Perspective, the Nerd Party show in which we look at all the movies released 25 years ago this week. I'm Mike.
I'm John.
And today we're going to take a look at the movies released on March 4th, 1994.
Yeah, March 4th.
Well, there were 7 movies released on March 4th, so we'll start at the bottom and talk about Safe Journey, which did not chart on Box Office Mojo, but this was a documentary about music played by gypsies, I believe. It's got an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Apparently it's good. All right. Well, the other movie which came out, which did not chart on Rotten Tomatoes on Box Office Mojo, is Where the River Flows North.
Yes.
Which has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it?
And it stars Rip Torn.
Oddly enough, yes.
And yeah, did you see this?
I did. I tracked down a DVD copy because apparently this is way out of print. And we discussed it, and you have your trailers that you put together, and I looked up old newspaper ads that, Where the River Flows North, this is an Oscar-winning film. This is an amazing film. You have to see this film. Rip Torn gives a performance worthy of an Oscar. Tantu Cardinal is amazing. And the DVD, pan and scan only, oddly enough. But, yeah, I mean, it was good. And so it would make sense for it to have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, because I wouldn't say a bad thing about this movie. But it wasn't I was hoping to discover a long-lost gem, like one of those overlooked films in history that, you discover a great crime in it being forsaken. The nicest thing I can say about it, and this is actually a very nice thing from my perspective, this is the type of movie where I could see myself walking through the family room and seeing my dad watching it and saying, "What the hell is this?" "Oh, it's Where the Rivers Flow North. You should catch it." And sitting down with them and finishing the movie and saying, "Yeah, that was pretty good," and then walking out. So there you go.
Okay. So what, isn't he like a logger or something like that?
Yeah, he's an old school logger in 1920s Vermont who does not want to give up his land for the sake of the new hydroelectric dam that they're building. And they keep trying to buy him out, and they keep offering more money. He lives on the land with a woman played by Tantu Cardinal, who was actually in another movie I watched for this, Silent Tongue, which is another movie that apparently only has pan and scan available. But she was in Dances with Wolves, so this was apparently her career trajectory. And before the movie starts, she won an award, like the American Indian Spirit Award for her performance, and she's great. But yeah, they live on the land, and basically Progress is trying to kick them off, and he's digging in his heels and trying to get the most out of it that he can. It's not a happy thing. It's your typical sort of story of a guy that time has left behind, and he doesn't realize that, it's time to pack it in, sort of thing. Michael J. Fox has a small role in it, with one of the worst on-screen Boston accents I've ever encountered. Makes Kevin Costner's in 13 Days look pretty good by comparison. So
okay, all right. All right. Well, the next movie on the list came in at number 21 at the box office. It was a limited release, to be fair. It got an expanded release further down the road. But number 21 at the box office with $0.1 million was Sirens, which has a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. It stars Hugh Grant. And, yeah.
Sam
you see
Neill's
this?
in it, too, actually.
Who?
Sam Neill is in it.
Oh, yeah, Sam Neill,
Yeah.
yeah. And Ellen
yeah.
McPherson and Portia de Rossi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the movie was basically, they marketed the fact that you were going to see supermodels in the All Together.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the posters and stuff at the video store and thinking like, I should check out that movie.
Yeah.
But I never did.
Nor did I.
Did you watch it for this?
I did not.
Okay.
Because I watched the trailer and I just said, this just doesn't really seem up my alley. It just doesn't. Yeah.
There were like I saw the trailer for this and I'm like, oh, that looks like it could be good. And then I saw another trailer and I'm like, oh, that looks like it could be good. And then I saw another trailer and I was like, oh, that looks like it could be good. That's the movie I want to watch. So I didn't watch Sirens.
There you go.
Yeah. But the next movie is the movie that I did watch. And that is China Moon, which was number 17 at the box office with $1.5 million and a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Have you seen this?
I haven't, and I'm dying to know because I remember the ad campaign for it back then. What did you think? What's the result here?
Yeah, well, it stars Ed Harris and Madeline Stowe. Very young 26-year-old Benicio del Toro.
Oh,
and it was directed by John Bailey, who people might recognize from the Academy Awards telecast. He's the president who got out there and gave his little speech about the Academy that everyone doesn't listen to. And he's a cinematographer by trade. He's photographed a ton of movies, probably most notably to us, For Love of the Game.
Yes.
But he has once or twice tried to direct, and this is one of those instances. And it stars, Ed Harris and Madeline Stowe. Ed Harris, I mean, he's one of the best actors ever, so it's
Yes.
always fun seeing him in a movie. And it's very sort of noirish. The idea is that Madeline Stowe is married to like a super rich guy, like a billionaire guy, who is cheating on her and who is abusing her, and she basically falls in love with Ed Harris, who's a detective. And then he gets involved in sort of like the case, the sort of like domestic disturbance case. But the two of them fall in love. And he's like, come on, you should leave him. And she's like, I can't. And then basically she ends up killing him in self-defense. But she does it with an illegal weapon. So now, in an effort to save her from going to jail, Ed Harris helps her cover up the crime.
Ooh.
And it goes from there. Like, they do this whole thing at the beginning, which is actually really well sort of plotted, where, like, at the beginning you see Ed Harris going through a crime scene, and he's like, look, this person moved this over there and moved this over there and whatever. Whoever tried to cover their tracks did a terrible job. It was clearly this person. These guys are really bad. Everybody makes mistakes. They don't know what they're doing. So then when it comes to it, you're like, oh, he knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
And you see him like, he's like the wolf from Pulp Fiction or something like that, But yeah, so it just kind of goes from there, and there's a few twists and turns. It's very, very noir. On the whole, pretty good. The performances were really good. Didn't blow me away. The ending had a few twists which were a little weird. But on the whole, I would say it's good. It's definitely better than what the critics are saying. So yeah.
Okay.
Check it out.
All right. Oh, cool.
All right. So the next movie, number 7 at the box office with $3.8 million and a 44% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, is Angie. starring
Nope.
Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's someone who's pregnant, about to become a mother,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Okay. Number 5 at the box office
Hmm.
with $4.4 million and a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Chase,
The Chase.
starring Charlie Sheen and
Yeah. Christy Swanson.
Henry Rollins.
Yes.
Directed by Adam Rifkin.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie I wanted to watch, and the streaming services let me down. Some of their algorithms got confused and thought it was a different Chase, and I didn't get to see it.
I don't know if they let you down. I saw this movie on tape ages ago, and I can say that unequivocally it's a mess. It was the type of experience that put it immediately in contention for what was known lovingly in my family for many years as the Superman 4 Awards, where we would, my cousin, my brother, and I would sit down and nominate movies for the Superman 4 Award for most bafflingly awful movie that we saw that year. Henry Rollins as a cop, the whole segment is supposed to be some sort of riff on the show Cops, which was big at the time.
Okay.
It doesn't work. And I think Flea is his partner. I can't remember. But Ray Wise is in it, so that was a good way to get me in to the theater as well. Old Leland Palmer there. I'll watch that anytime. But yeah, it's not a good movie. It is really not a good movie. 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I discussed this with my friend Joey, who keeps coming up, where I said, oh, yeah, there's no way I was going to rewatch The Chase. And he said, I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. So there is variance of opinion out there, but yeah, I didn't care for it. I'm not going back.
The trailer looked cool and everything, so, and I like the idea of, like, the entire movie basically being a car chase. I thought that was an interesting concept, but I wasn't completely sold on it either. I remember seeing, like, the ads on the back of comic books and stuff like that, and, I thought, hey, well, that's cool. You don't see Christy Swanson in too many things, so, that's always fun, and, even though Charlie Sheen is, maybe not the best selling point for a movie. But, yeah, I thought it might have the chance of being sort of cool and weird. I'm always up for a good action movie, and I just thought that this would be a good one to watch, and I couldn't, Maybe I'll go back and revisit it. But it's not like one where I'm like, I have to see that. I have to.
I would be extremely curious for your reaction, and I can also say, without a doubt, that there is a cameo in it that is, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's one of those ones where if you understand who it is that you see, then you don't say that you recognize who it is that you see.
Okay. All right. So that leaves us with one more movie for the week.
Yes.
This one was number 2 at the box office with $6.1 million and a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. Greedy.
I think that 28% is completely unfair.
Okay.
I really do. I did watch it. And this is, it's a 3 out of 5 sort of movie. It's a comedy, so some stuff's going to miss, some stuff's going to land. But it's got Phil Hartman in a supporting role. That immediately gives it, that'll get me to watch it 100% of the time. Michael J. Fox. It's got Kirk Douglas. It's got funny jokes. It's got funny premises. And it's got, quirky twists and turns. Ace Ventura held on to the top spot. I could see easily a world where this would have taken number 1 if Ace Ventura wasn't such a surprise hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia Dabo's in it too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's even a throwaway joke because it's Miriam Dabo that's in in The Living Daylights, and Olivia is the girlfriend of the aged Kirk Douglas in this, and Michael J. Fox has a throwaway line where he goes, "Have you seen her in there? She's a Bond girl," and it's like, oh, ha ha ha, ha, because she looks like her sister.
Yeah, that's good. I guess this was like a year after she was on Star Trek: The Next Generation in True Q, I believe, where she plays like the half human, half Q woman.
I don't even remember that episode.
Oh yeah, it was a good episode. I don't know. Yeah.
So it's a funny movie. It's I would gently recommend checking it out. I think it's got some fun stuff, and it's worth watching.
Okay. So it sounds like we're kind of getting into the territory where movies are maybe getting a little bit better, like still no like full-blown masterpieces, but hey, they're not all the worst movies ever. I mean, I thought that China Moon was okay. You thought that Greedy was okay. The Chase, maybe not so much. Oh, and Where the River Flows North, also okay.
Yeah.
So,
Where the Rivers Flow North was actually good enough that I would, I know it's based on a book. I'm going to pick up the book and read it. Okay. It's an interesting enough premise. I'll stick with it.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
So Blue Chips still your number one for the year?
Yeah. Blue Chips still retains the top spot, most likely.
Okay. Yeah, and for me, I would say Reality Bites still does as well.
Fair enough.
So next week we have, 5 movies. And next week I think maybe is when we completely turn a corner and get into some interesting territory.
Whatever for. What's coming out next week, Mike?
Well, we have The Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh.
4 Weddings and a Funeral. The Ref.
Yeah.
Lightning Jack.
Okay.
And Guarding Tess.
I've always wanted to see that.
Now's your chance. Your chance.
I have an excuse now.
Yeah. There's 2. Next week will be at least 2 for me, no doubt. So.
All right. Cool, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, well, gosh, you can find me as Kessel Junkie over on Twitter, Goodreads, and Letterboxd. And you can find me right here on the network co-hosting Aggressive Negotiations, a Star Wars podcast, with my good friend Matt Rushing. And, Mike, where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Mumbles3K. And you can also find me on Trek.fm doing a show called Tracks from the Edge. And on filmdamagepod.com doing a show called Film Damage. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it for this week. Kind of a short episode, but whatever, I mean, good movies, but maybe not necessarily a whole lot to talk about. Whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
But next week that will probably change, I think.
I have a good feeling that, next week's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, until then, be kind, rewind.